You know what's crazy? Most people think a snake plant is the kind of houseplant you just shove in a corner, water when you remember, and feel lucky if it survives. But here's the deal. That same plant, the one your grandma had for 25 years, is actually one of the most generous plants on the planet, and almost nobody is treating it right. With a few small changes, that single $15 plant from the hardware store can multiply itself into a dozen more, clean the air in your bedroom while you sleep, and keep going strong for 2 decades without you spending another dime. Today we're covering 11 snake plant hacks that turn this so-called beginner plant into the hardest working green thing you own. Stick around because number 7 is the propagation trick that has a 92 to 97% success rate, and that bonus tip at the very end will save you from the one mistake that kills more snake plants than anything else combined. Hey, good to see you back. And if you're new here, I'm really glad you found us. This is the most budget-friendly gardening channel on YouTube, where we focus on plants that pay you back, whether that's food on the table or, in this case, a houseplant that turns one purchase into years of free greenery. I've been growing snake plants for over a decade. I've killed a few, I've propagated hundreds, and along the way I figured out which advice from the internet actually works and which is just noise. Everything in this video is stuff I've tested in my own home, on my own windowsills, with my own 2 hands. Entry 1, the $15 to $200 multiplication trick. Number 1, the multiplication trick. Here's the kicker. A single healthy snake plant from a big box store runs you about 15 to 20 bucks. That same plant, left alone for 2 or 3 years, will produce what we call pups, baby plants that pop up from the underground rhizome right next to the mother. Each pup, once separated, is a brand new plant worth $15 to $20 on its own. A mature snake plant in a 10-inch pot can easily push out 6 to 10 pups over a couple of years. Do the math. You're turning one $15 plant into $150 to $200 worth of plants just by leaving it alone and letting it do its thing. Look for varieties like Sansevieria trifasciata Laurenti, the classic with the yellow edges, or the Zeylanica with the dark green stripes. Both are aggressive pup producers. Pot it in a 6 to 8 inch terracotta container at first. Use a cactus or succulent mix, and don't overpot. Snake plants actually pup faster when they're slightly root-bound. That's huge for busy people because the less you fuss with it, the more it gives back. Bonus tip: stop repotting every year. Wait until you literally see roots pushing up out of the soil. That stress is what triggers the pups in the first place. Entry 2, the bedroom oxygen hack. Now let's talk about number 2, the bedroom oxygen hack. This one is real science, not internet folklore. Snake plants are one of a small group of plants that perform something called cam photosynthesis. In plain English, that means they keep doing their thing at night when most plants shut down. While you're sleeping, your snake plant is quietly pulling carbon dioxide out of the air and releasing oxygen back into the room. It's like having a tiny, silent, free air quality assistant that runs on a glass of water every couple of weeks. Now, I want to be straight with you. You're not going to replace your air purifier with one plant. But 3 or 4 good-sized snake plants in your bedroom genuinely do raise the overnight oxygen to CO2 ratio, and a lot of people, myself included, swear they sleep better with them in the room. At $15 a plant versus $200 to $400 for a quality air purifier, this is one of the best returns in the houseplant world. Place them within 6 to 8 feet of where you sleep. Stick to upright varieties like Laurenti or Moonshine, which have the most leaf surface area, and you're set. Entry 3, the forgotten watering rule. Number 3, the forgotten watering rule. Here's what most people don't realize. The number 1 killer of snake plants is not neglect, it's love. People water these things like they water their basil, and the rhizome rots from the bottom up. By the time the leaves start flopping, it's usually too late. The real rule is dead simple. Stick your finger 2 inches into the soil. If you feel any moisture at all, walk away. Come back in a week. In summer, that's about every 2 to 3 weeks. In winter, you can stretch it to 4 to 6 weeks. Some of my plants in cooler rooms get watered maybe 6 times a year, total, and they look incredible. You plant it once, water it almost never, and it rewards you for years. That alone makes it the perfect plant for travelers, busy professionals, and honestly anyone who's ever killed a plant before and given up. And the best part? When you do water, water deeply. Soak the whole pot until water runs out the drainage holes, then dump the saucer. Deep, infrequent watering builds a strong rhizome. Entry 4, the light sweet spot. At number 4, we have the light sweet spot. There's this myth floating around that snake plants thrive in the dark. They survive in low light, sure, but thriving is a different game. A snake plant in a dim corner will limp along for years without growing, without pupping, without giving you anything back. Move that same plant 4 to 6 feet from a bright east or south-facing window and you'll see new leaves pushing up within 30 to 45 days. The Moonshine cultivar is the one that really tells on you. In low light, those gorgeous silvery leaves turn dark green within a couple of months, and you lose the entire reason you bought it. Give Moonshine bright, indirect light and the silver pops back. The whale fin variety, the one with those huge paddle-shaped leaves, will push out 1 or 2 new leaves a year in good light. And each one of those leaves on its own can sell online for $30 to $50. Bonus tip: if your only spot is a dim hallway, rotate 2 plants. Keep one in bright light for a month, then swap it with the dim one. Both stay healthy, and you keep your decor. Entry 5, the right pot saves the plant. Number 5, the right pot. This sounds boring, I know, but stick with me because this single change saves more snake plants than any fertilizer or fancy soil ever will. Snake plants need 2 things from their pot: drainage holes and a material that breathes. Plastic pots trap moisture against the rhizome, and that's where rot starts. Use unglazed terracotta. A 6-inch pot for small plants, an 8 to 10-inch pot for medium, and a 12 to 14-inch pot for the big floor specimens. Terracotta wicks moisture out of the soil through the walls, which is exactly what these plants want. Cost is $5 to $12 a pot, and they last for decades. It's like buying insurance for a plant you already paid for. Pair it with a chunky soil mix. I do 2 parts cactus mix, 1 part perlite, and 1 part coarse sand. That blend drains in seconds, and your rhizome will never sit in wet feet. Skip the moisture control potting soils. Those are designed for thirsty plants, not desert ones. Mid-video engagement. Hey, quick pause here. If you're getting value from this so far, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel get in front of more gardeners like you, and it costs you absolutely nothing. While you're at it, drop a comment below telling me which snake plant variety you've got at home right now, or which one you want to try next. Laurenti, Moonshine, Whalefin, Cylindrica, I want to hear it. I read every single comment, and I usually answer within a day. Entry 6, the free fertilizer. Now let's talk about number 6, the free fertilizer hack. People spend $15 to $25 on fancy houseplant fertilizers, and snake plants barely need them. Twice a year is plenty. Once in early spring, once in midsummer. That's it. Here's the secret. Brew a weak compost tea from your kitchen scraps, or use diluted aquarium water if you've got a fish tank. Aquarium water is loaded with nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals, and it's literally a free byproduct you'd otherwise pour down the drain. Dilute it 50-50 with fresh water and use it instead of regular watering twice a year. Your snake plant will reward you with thicker, taller leaves and more pups. If you don't have a fish tank, a quarter-strength balanced liquid fertilizer, something like a 10-10-10, works fine. The mistake people make is feeding monthly. Snake plants store nutrients in the rhizome, so over-fertilizing burns the roots. Less is genuinely more here. Entry 7, the 95T or success propagation method. Now this one. At number 7, we have the propagation trick that has a 92 to 97% success rate, and almost nobody talks about it. This one sounds almost mythical when you hear it, but it's just botany. Most people propagate snake plants from leaf cuttings stuck in water or soil. That works, but it takes 6 to 8 weeks, and here's the kicker: variegated varieties like Laurenti lose their yellow edges entirely when you propagate from a leaf. The yellow doesn't come back, ever. You end up with a plain green plant. The real pro move is rhizome division. When you unpot a mature plant, you'll see this thick, knobby underground stem connecting all the leaves. That's the rhizome. Take a clean, sharp knife, cut a section that has at least 1 bud or growth point and a small piece of root attached, let it air dry on a paper towel for 24 to 48 hours so the cut callus is over, then pot it in dry cactus mix. Wait a full week before watering. Roots take 3 to 6 weeks. Success rate sits between 92 and 97%. And because it's a clone of the parent, your Laurenti stays a Laurenti. Variegation intact. That's huge if you've got a rare variety like Moonshine or Whalefin, where each plant is worth $30 to $80. Entry 8, the pet safe placement. Number 8, the pet safe placement. I have to be honest here. Snake plants are mildly toxic to cats and dogs if they chew on them, thanks to compounds called saponins. Symptoms are usually drooling, vomiting, and an upset stomach. Not life-threatening for most pets, but unpleasant. The fix is simple. Put your snake plant up high, a bookshelf, a tall plant stand, a hanging shelf, anywhere your cat can't pole vault to. Or pick varieties with extra tough leaves like the Cylindrica, the African spear, where the leaves are so rigid that mature ones literally can't be bent without snapping. Pets generally lose interest in plants they can't easily chew. If you've got a really determined cat, sprinkle a little citrus peel on the soil. Most cats hate the smell, and it keeps them away. You plant it once, place it smart, and you protect both your pet and your plant for years. Entry 9, the indoor to outdoor move. Number 9, the indoor to outdoor summer move. Here's something most people don't realize. Snake plants are tropical, and they love a vacation outside in summer. If you live anywhere that stays above 50 degrees at night from late spring through early fall, take your snake plant outside and stick it in a shady or dappled light spot for 3 to 4 months. The growth explosion is honestly ridiculous. Pups multiply faster, leaves get thicker and taller, and color deepens. I've had Laurenti put on 8 to 12 inches of new growth in a single summer outside, when the same plant indoors might add 2 inches in a year. Just keep it out of direct, hot afternoon sun for the first 2 weeks to avoid leaf burn, and bring it back in before nighttime temps dip below 50. Bonus tip, while it's outside, that's the perfect window to repot, divide, and refresh the soil. The plant's already in active growth mode and bounces back from the disturbance in days. Entry 10. The decade-long investment. At number 10, we have a true houseplant classic, the long-haul payoff. A well-cared-for snake plant can live 20 to 25 years. Some documented specimens are pushing 50. You plant it once and it gives back for decades, which puts the cost per year at well under $1. Compare that to a pothos, which usually peaks at 8 to 10 years, or a fiddle-leaf fig, which dramatically dies the moment you breathe on it wrong. The snake plant is the marathon runner of the houseplant world. Stick with the classic Laurenti or Zeylanica for the longest-lived varieties. The dwarf honey types are also incredibly durable, just smaller. The first year, you wait. The plant settles in, builds its rhizome, and barely seems to do anything. The second year, you start to see its promise. New leaves, the first pups, real momentum. By year 5, you've got a statement plant and a small army of babies you've shared with friends and family. That's the kind of return almost no other houseplant gives you. Entry 11, the bonus insurance policy. And here we are at number 11, the bonus tip I promised. Call it your insurance policy. Once a year, take one healthy leaf, cut it into 3-inch sections, and propagate them in water on your windowsill. Even though you'll lose the variegation on cultivars like Laurenti, you're creating backup plants. If anything ever happens to your main plant, root rot, a hard freeze near a drafty window, an unfortunate cat incident, you've got replacements rooting and ready, a clean glass jar, water changed once a week, and bright, indirect light. Roots show up in 4 to 6 weeks. Pot them up in dry cactus mix once roots hit 2 inches long. You'll never have to buy another snake plant again. Your friends will be asking for cuttings within a year, and once you've got the propagation rhythm down, you can sell mature pups locally for $10 to $25 each. Plenty of people fund their entire plant hobby this way. The single biggest mistake to avoid: cutting your propagation leaves and shoving them straight into wet soil. They rot before they root. Always let the cut end dry and callus over for 24 to 48 hours first. That one habit alone takes your success rate from maybe 50% to over 90%. So, there you have it. 11 snake plant hacks that turn one of the easiest houseplants in the world into a multiplying, air-cleaning, decades-lasting machine. Which one are you trying first? The rhizome propagation trick at number 7? The summer vacation move at number 9? Drop it in the comments below. I genuinely want to know. If you got value out of this, hit that like button and subscribe.